nice and warm.
What can we do?
Well, let's see what you have. I'd like to rent a room.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day.
What do you have for sale?
Drink for the thirsty, food for the hungry.
Got a lot of drink over. Wow, I can get drunk if I have the coins forever here. All this wine. Lots of food, but I just need to be able to cook the food that I have. Lots of wine. I think I'm good. Do you have any salt? I don't have too many coins, 110. Maybe I should just hold on to it. I do have some salt. Heard any rumors lately?
Have you seen that shrine of his own? They say the dark elves take it up to get flesh from Molly. Sight to see.
I think I've heard about that when I was young. It's by home, right? Winterhold, where I was born. Well, any bounty work I can help with.
Of course. It's all in this note.
Thanks.
I'll show you to your room. Right this way. Let me know if there's anything else you need.
Kipaz, what's up with you?
I don't know how late it is, but...
Who's winning? Cincinnati?
No. Maybe even that mead I picked up in the, well, just this. Right. That's a pretty woman. Well, that's the boy I met the man I met outside. His grandmother saw a dragon. What's this about another girl?
Bingo, basically, leave Camilla Valerius away from me. She's already mine, I can tell you.
Where did you learn to play so well?
At the Bard's College in Solitude. They train bards and skalds like myself. If you go there, talk to the Arnold. He's the headmaster.
Maybe one day. So, you and this Fango both like the same girl?
Camilla Valerius knows I'm the best man in Riverwood. That elf is kidding himself if he thinks she would choose him over me.
Oh.
I see him sneaking over to the Riverwood trader secretly when I'm not around. He's wasting his time.
Yes, you know. He sounds persistent. Why not do something about it?
You may be right. Camilla may see Fango as good more than a friend. But why take chances? Here, give Camilla this letter. It's full of venomous nonsense. Tell her it's from Fango.
Every day, more dog people are deciding it's time for a fresh approach to pet food. Developed with...
The Snowborns were good to me. That was my aunt and uncle. Aunt Browning and Uncle Osmond. Auntie was my blood, the sister of my father who I had never known. She was my mother, and Uncle was my father as far as I think of them. Their own children were much older than my brother Hafnar and I, and all but one died in the Great War. My father was not a young man when I came into the world, and neither were my aunt and uncle, who were even older than him. Father was around 50 years old when I was born, and I guess my much younger mother had caught his eye for one reason or another when he was stationed in Cyrodiil. My auntie said she was half his age. Regardless, around the time I was born, his army had returned to the fighting, and he died retaking the Imperial City. Aunt Branding told me my own mother gave me to her, since she wanted nothing to do with me once father had abandoned her to go off and die. All I know about her is that she was half Breton, raised among Bretons in Cyrodiil. Those half-breeds don't always know where they fit in, and they don't have the strong family bonds that Nords do, said my aunt. Especially my mother, who was some failed illusionist from the College of Whispers father met when he was stationed in Bruma. Half Nord and half Breton, though it is hard to tell which one she was by her looks, I was told, except for the ears, which gave her away apparently, as which is something I've also inherited, slight pointy ears, since I am a quarter Breton, My brother Hafnar used to tease me and call me an elf growing up. It's all fine until you get beat up by other Nord boys when they hear about it. My brother, though an idiot, would protect me though, so I tended to stick around him. I grew tall, was taller than Hafnar. I was one of the taller Nords you see running around. Though my ears were, well, something I am not proud of. They're not that obvious, but if you do look at them, you can see they're a little off from your typical Nord. More like a Breton. Uncle never talked about it, other than tell me to stand up to those who pick on me over it. And he told me it means I have a little bit of elf in me. It might be why magic comes easier to me. Aunt Browning used to teach at the College of Winterhold when we lived there, and was quite the accomplished mage. We had an old relative, some great-great-grandmother, and I think I'm missing a few greats, who was the archmage at the College of Winterhold. Elizabeth? If I remember the name right. Aunt Browning spoke of her quite highly, also saying one of our distant ancestors might have also been the champion of Cyrodiil in the last era, though she says there's no proof of it. It's just a rumor that was passed down to her from her mother. Since he disappeared at the end of the last era, no one knows. Auntie used to teach me in Hafnar how to pick plants and to make potions. What this flower did with this other flower once you grind it up. Mortar and pestle and all. I've forgotten most of it now, but I wouldn't mind dabbling in it again if I'm able to live out in the wilderness. There are potions that can heal you, which do interest me, of course. She also taught Hafnar and I how to cast basic spells to help us when we are out in the plains hunting. A self-healing spell and a fire spell. Hafnar had trouble casting them and never really picked it up, but I took to it well. I've been using those spells since to heal my injuries and start fires when the need arises. Uncle Osming taught Hafnar and myself how to create simple things at the forge. Iron daggers, swords, and basic leather, and even some iron armor. We were his helpers for years. I learned a lot about creating and maintaining armor and weapons through him. Times were getting tougher up there in Winterhold since the Great Collapse. Too many people were moving away, looking for better opportunities. Uncle and Auntie decided it was time to move south, to a home just east of Whiterun, around 182, when I was still young. He became the battle-born smith over at Whiterun, and they were glad to have him. Uncle showed us how to live off the land, to hunt, fight animals like wolves, and to avoid dangerous ones like the saber cats and the giants, and the mammoths especially. We hunted rabbits, deer, foxes for their pelts. Hafnar and I camped out there for many a night, bringing back meat and pelts for home. My aunt and uncle were proud of us. Then in 188, which I'll never forget, of course, Uncle Osmond died of a heart attack while working the forge for a big order for the Battleborns. That was pretty hard on Auntie and us boys at the time, but we continued to live there at the old Tundra homestead. It was until a couple of years later when Hafnar and I were out hunting for a few days. We returned to find Aunt Browning dead in her bed. We saw the puncture holes in her neck, and we knew the tales she had told us of vampires in Skyrim. And we knew something was really wrong. We were afraid to sleep there that night. So we removed Auntie's head, made sure she would turn it to one of them, and then buried her next to Uncle Osming in the yard. Then we sought help from the priests of Stendar, who were actually coming through Skyrim pretty frequently around that time. Rumors of vampire attacks were becoming told more and more. With their help, we were led to a nearby cave just southeast of Whiterun. There we found a coffin, and we watched as they killed the beast. They believed it was the one who had taken Aunt Browning's life. With that, we thought we couldn't return to live at Tundra Homestead anymore. Besides, what if that wasn't the vampire who got her? We didn't want to stay and find out. Both of us were pretty scared. I followed Hafnar into Whiterun, and he sold Tundrahome to one of the Battleborns. He said it went for cheap, since the Battleborns were always tight with the coin, and that is when we left Skyrim for Cyrodiil. When I was only 16. Thoughts of joining the Imperial Legion were on our mind as we traveled south. We wanted to be real legionnaires, not some auxiliary that they would only bring you on as in Skyrim. So, we followed Father's footsteps to the Imperial city. Now it's time to sleep off this wine. Talk in the tavern was of a bandit-controlled mine to the southwest by the Standing Stones. Funny, I thought that was east of here. They claimed they'd love for it to be cleared out, though no one was willing to pay for it. I guess my reward would be found inside. The Jarl of Falkreath was too busy indulging in wine and women to bother with sending his guards there. So I declared I will go and do it. I have to start earning coins somehow. But first thing in the morning, we'll see if I can do some work in the forge to improve what I have.
Big news. Right now at Spectrum Mobile, Unlimited is only $29.99 a month, and your next line...
May the divine bless them.
Hello? You sure look like you can use some help. I'm fine. I had a good sleep. The children running around. It's kind of a pleasant place. That's old cats. Hello? Okay. Well, let's see to,
Take what you need, my friend. Within reason.
Yes, I'm here to help around the forge.
Good to see you.
Need any help?
Yes, actually. How about you slip me an iron dagger? There's everything you need to make one. Go ahead.
Okay. I made a few of those. First weapons. Okay. I would like to get rid of this Imperial armor that I'm wearing. Tunic and alright. Well, here you go. Nice to hear. Here's the dagger.
Not bad. But it's a little dull. How about you sharpen it up? Just need a bit of metal and the grindstone over there.
Okay.
Aye.
Oh, grindstone. Well, hopefully I can... I have just enough ingots for my swords, too. There's the dagger. There you go.
May the gods watch over your battle.
Sharpen the dagger for you.
This looks good. Put time into your blades. They'll serve you well when you need them. You want to keep healthy? How about you make some armor? Let's start by canning some leather on the raft.
Simple enough. I've done this many times. All right.
Did I see you talking to Sven? I'll show you what I know.
There you go.
Take what you need, my friend.
Good day.
Ah, good. A lot of weapons and armor need leather for straps, fittings, that kind of thing. Let's see if you can make a hide helmet. Here's the rest of what you need. Safe.
And the truth, the forge is getting a little hot. Take off the current helmet I'm using. All right, you want a hide helmet? I could make a leather skeleton helmet.
Borgnar.
Although I don't have much
are you
leather, I
listening?
don't have much gold to buy
Hard
one.
not to.
Hey there.
Yale is going bad. We need to get a new badge.
I should hire you to be my assistant.
Did you hear me?
Yep, Ale's going bad.
I guess you don't have potatoes in your ears after all. Just make sure we get a fresh batch in soon.
Come on in. Just stoke the fire. Take a seat and get the cold out. We got rooms and food. Drink, too. I cook. Lucan at the Riverwood trader had his store broken into the other night. Oddly enough, barely anything's been
This is
stolen.
easy stuff. I'm tempted to hide helmet.
You have talent. Keep working at your craft.
Of course.
It'll be a fine
It's all in
one
this
day.
note.
Ah,
Why don't you keep that dagger in helmet? Maybe you'll remember me when you're making Skyforge steel, huh?
I don't think I'll ever get that good, but maybe I can dream about it. See, look, what you have for sale? All right. Let's sell this Imperial hide helmet, light helmet, and the dagger, and the extra longbow. All I have to do is get rid of this Imperial light armor tunic. What do you have for sale, actually?
Weapons and armor.
For materials. Oh, he's got a lot of leather. I don't have much gold. I can get a few pieces of leather, but not much.
Good day.
Well, like they said, that lying to the east. Hide helmets make you look like a bandit now. Oh, I could improve this bow. Oh, you must be the elf, Fandel that Sven was talking about?
Well, one of us has to do something.
I suppose.
I said no. No adventures, no theatrics, no...
Can you train me to be better at archery? You look like
Thief
a
chasing.
hunter.
I'll
What
show
are you
you
going
what
to
I
do
know.
then, huh?
A little expensive for me. Thank you.
All right, then.
Bosmer. All right.
The Legion's
Well,
always looking for strong,
I guess I'm
capable
looking for an
warriors.
axe.
If you think you've got what
This
it
must
takes,
be the,
our headquarters is in
The owner
solitude.
of the mill? Hello.
Can't wait to kill another of Ulfric's boys.
Here
Need
for
something?
work. Get an axe. Bring me all the wood you can chop.
Sounds good. Well, I just need to find an axe.
Can I help you?
Not really. I'm looking for an axe. It's raining, but there's hardly a cloud above me. Grindstone. I passed an axe. There's an axe here. All right. Some chopped wood in the rain. Right here. Maybe they'll wash some of the soot off from the forge. I could use the firewood too. I don't have a tent.
Do your work.
I don't have a sleeping blankets. I need a lot of leather to do what I want to do. I only could pay for all that the leather he has, 30 gold each. He has 16 pieces. So we're looking at around 500 gold.
Keep your
Okay,
guard
now
up.
the clouds are coming. Speaking of which, I'd like to read that letter that he wrote, or Sven wrote. The fake leather. What was to her name? The Fandel.
Hello there, fellow
Camilla.
traveler.
Dear Camilla, I know I have called upon you at your house many times, and while we may be growing close, I need you to put any desires you may have for me aside. I am a true-born son of Valenwood. That sounds like something a Nord would state, actually. Bosmer don't really talk like that. And I could never befoul my bloodline by courting an Imperial. Ah, she's Imperial, is she? I hope we can remain true friends, provided you understand your people's ways in the Altmer Dominion. Respect me as such. Sincerely, Fandel.
What? Oh, right. We've made a mistake.
Oh, yes, I actually, hello,
Come
Cat.
along before that mouth of yours gets you into trouble.
Let's see if I can touch you.
Make sure it's the right person.
Nice purring. This cat's kind of likes me.
It is please.
Altmer.
Good to see you again.
I forgot they have more for sale.
Blades, helmets, pretty much anything to suit your needs.
Yes, oh. Maybe you just, okay. Because I know I have the armor, and I got that off that dead mage in the torturer's room. Yeah, right here. Wow. I probably could get good points for it. River
Back off.
Okay.
Riverwood Trader is everything you need in a general store.
Let's see what you have for sale. Now, I would like to sell this armor. I've got over 150 for it, it's something. Not really enough to buy the leather I want. But after. Okay.
Damn food. This thing's worth bad enough.
Thieves really bad around here. It's really coming down. Is that... I heard his name is Hart, who runs the mill. Hey,
Got business here in Riverwood,
I have firewood to sell.
Honest gold on honest work.
Oh well.
No.
Must have run off.
Well, I'll have to collect firewood when I can't fire it. When I need it. It's a tractor bench. They left the mill as well. No wonder they're all fighting over it. I'll have to return. I really want to go to this mine. They said it's before the standing stones, which I already passed by. But there's also wolves out here, right? Oh, wait. I did improve the bow. My swords are improved. They're here. They're nearby. I see you. Right there. And I think they see me, actually. Oh, this bow. Not a good idea. Not a very good bow. Where you're going, though, I think you're safe. Or you might use this bow. That's a weak draw. Something a child would, maybe a teen needs to practice with. God, these arrows. That's all I have. I'm gonna go into the village. Come on, wolf, face me. I don't need to drive it into the village, but it's already over there. Until I get close, it runs. Now it's in the village. I might attack somebody who lives here. You! Either leave or die. In fact, this is the worst bow I've ever used. I'm gonna have any arrows by the time I kill this wolf. If I can kill it. Need your hide. I'll get some arrows back. Okay, that wolf had some gold on it. Well, I'll take it whenever I can. Where's the other wolf? Okay, I got the other pelt. Now let's find this mine.
Hold it. This here's a toll road. You're gonna have to hand over, say, 200 gold if you want to use our road.
The guardian stones are just ahead.
Ha! Tough talk for someone who's about to have their guts spilled.
Ah.
Never could have come here.
See it. That's the guardian stone right there. Okay.
Where are you?
This must be it.
Ah!
have to conserve my arrows. I don't have any.
I'll kill you if I have to.
Hide helmet, hide boots, leather armor. Well, I'm going to take this off me. A petty soldier. I haven't seen a soldier in a while. Another spell toll. Arrow, hide boots, leather bracers. Is she Altmer? Her skin is. I have to see. Yes, she was an Altmer. You can have your. In fact, I'm going to put my Imperial light armor on. And I'm going to wear what you have. Despite the blood.
Hey.
There. Now, I don't look like an Imperial at all. As I said, I lost a lot of weight. Well, let's see if I survive this. I'll have to use my sneaky skills. Maybe I should have something to eat. Carrying enough on me. Oh yeah, I got this off the wolf. Silver garnet ring. Worth quite a bit of them, at least for me. Since I have practically nothing. Piece of bread. And more wine. Why not? Before I go any further.
Tell you what, you start running so I can stab you in the back. I
Go for
cannot
traps.
trust you.
I see one right now. Take the torches out. Let's just go around it. Notice what it won't do. It dropped the ceiling on it.
Not like this.
And here. Somebody's using a pickaxe ahead. I thought there was a person right there. No. I've got a really bad bow, but it worked pretty good against that bandit outside that was guarding the mine. Maybe you'll find a better bow in here. Oh, his back is turned. Wish I had a poison. What was that? There was an arrow in your back, you idiot.
You're gonna die for that.
What's good, YouTube? This is Very Mellow Man, and welcome all of you to our brand new project, a Let's Play of a Skyrim Special Edition Overhaul mod known as The Curse. The gods are in silence. The world of Skyrim is dying. Everything is dying. With the arrival of the dragons, a terrible curse came into the world. The population is suffering. Animals are dead. Plants are decaying. There is no salvation. Created by Hillboard 2727. A few years ago. So, the gimmick behind this overhaul mod is that each of the playable races begins the game suffering from one of several curses. The one curse they all share is the curse of the life, which disables natural health regeneration. Now, you can check which curses your current character has by going over the active effects tree. And it's actually pretty interesting. The curse of life, right? Aside from the curse of life, the curse of the mind received 25% more magic damage, and magic damage is rolled 20%, and the curse of wrath. The magic and stamina regenerate slower when you're not in combat. These curses are exclusive to the Nord race. It's not the only thing the mod changes. Each race gets their... Instead of starting with bonus stats in several of the starting skill trees, each race gets a bonus XP towards those original 5 starting skill trees. So in the Nord's case, we get faster smithing, block, one-handed, light armor, and speech. And on top of that, the two-handed skill tree grows 10% faster. Our resist frost scale has also been reduced from a mighty 50% to a paltry 10%. Let's think of the fact that, in general, what this mod is going to do is nerf basically everything about the game when it comes to crafting. For example, we start at 5 for everything except for starting skills. Well, this is embarrassing. Let's see here. It's weird, but for some reason I'm not getting the entire skill tree. Okay. So forgive me, but I'm going to do some mod loading. I didn't think this would happen, but it looks like it's going to happen. Looks like I'm going to have to take care of some things. Alright. Oh well. If I want to level up the skill fast, I have other means to do that. So, forgive me. Now, hopefully, you can get out of the game. Yeah, we got rid of better leveling so that we can, as you see here, even the loading screens are affected with curse mod. Dark Elf Blood does not normally grant you only 10% resistance to fire. It's a 50%. Right. So actually, in general, the thing with large-scale overhaul mods like the Curse is that the vast majority of your mods are completely overwritten and forgotten about for the sake of the changes made by the Curse. It's all the name of basically forcing you to play by the Curse's mechanics. There we go. As you can see here before, we weren't able to see every change, but now we can. For some reason, adding in a mod that screws up how fast you get the level also changes pretty much every, also prevents us from using the full extent of the Curse's rather extensive perk overhaul. So I'm going to say it's right now. One of the most notable things with the perk overhaul trees is the fact that at the very top of the screen here, you get these. These are specializations. You can only choose one of the specializations per perk tree if you have multiple perks. But you can get up to 18 specializations at a time if you really want to have a character that has 100 points in every perk. Another part of the nerf right here is that you will never be able to craft equipment as powerful as you could in the vanilla. Skill enchantments of Recycle Enchanter can get up to 25% stronger, just like you could, but it takes you 5 perk points instead of 1. Same with stamina. On the other hand, your enchantments never be more than 50% stronger than their original magnitude. When I get some actual levels, we'll be able to go over the rest of the perk tree at my pace, but so, familiar territory, the Skyrim tutorial. Luckily, I skipped the intro, so you wouldn't have to sit through that. Woo! You did the thing. Another thing, as you can see here, is that our carry weight is drastically boosted. Basically, you might as well forget entirely about the, ooh, oh boy. Alright. Like, in all seriousness, you might as well forget about being able to haul tons of junk around, because you only have about 125 weight. And speaking of weight, in the Curse, gold will weigh you down. Can't see it, but gold has...
Hand over your valuables.
It's like 0.
Nice try. I'm not going to... Don't you walk away from me.
Pounds per piece of gold. So it takes up a lot of your capacity, which means that you won't be able to haul around. You won't be able to haul around large amounts of money
I'll see you burn.
Oh, one unique thing about this mod, however, I didn't even go to the mod, but one thing about this mod that it also has, and I think it's fairly interesting, is the difficulty is based on a risk-reward system. Novice to expert, you and the enemy do 25% more damage to each other. Now, master difficulty, you and the enemy do 50% more damage to each other, and legendary, you and the enemy do 100% more damage to each other. So, if you want to do more damage, the easiest way to do it is to take the risk and bump the difficulty up to legendary mode. Another thing about I just want to slow down the features a bit more here, because there's a lot to talk about, and it's a lot we'll be seeing with this particular playthrough. As usual, skip there. I'm so glad I installed a big jump mod. It's just twice the normal jumping height, but it's going to make all the difference when it comes to scaling mountains. Level. Some skills require more XP per level. The balance, some require less. So, in case of smithing, as an example, for a skill that doesn't require less experience to level up, due to everything that's going to be involved in it. And oh boy, is the smithing skill tree quite involved. Survival mode is the mod downloadable from the Creation Club, but I'm not going to turn it on. As you see here, another part of our active specs will be the hunger and thirst options. We don't need to turn on survival difficulty when we already have survival mode mechanics installed with the game via this mod. When you're hungry, you see minus 2% regen and match that. But your water skills increase 50% slower. When you're thirsty, 50% minus match regen and minus 50% stamina. And your mage and thief skills increase slower. So you have to manage hunger and thirst fairly regularly. It's not annoying, but as long as you, well, how hungry or thirsty you get depends on how full or parched you are. So if you don't regularly consume food or water, you're going to get hungry faster than you probably care to realize. Let's see here. Combat, enemies will block more and try to stagger if you hold back, hold your block. Some will try to flank you and cancel your attack. The range of melee attacks has changed, because that you can dodge attacks and away from it. Charge fast, that's what we do. Use more legendary for both sides. Perks. Overhaul all perks. The level 100 perks called specialization. Perks are powerful by various bonuses and abilities. You can get one specialization per skill tree. Specialization. You're talking about build. The specialization is going to be based on your build up. And yeah, some specializations are not as powerful as the others. For example, you either specialize in a perk that will require you to play with a stack of this if you're a destruction mage, or if you want to become a battle mage, you can go to the spell sword specialization, which allows you to do 10% more damage than what your weapon, and switches also will be 10% more powerful. You will also go into the extra magical cost of the is that when you equip light or heavy armor, you take a penalty to your stamina. Then, right. Each piece of light armor you have equipped will give you -5 stamina. And for heavy armor, it's -10. Spells those stats 10% will match those if you use light armor, and it's 20% if you're using heavy armor. Finally, because you're fatigued, you'll do 50% minus physical damage if your stamina is below 10%. Which is why perks that eliminate or mitigate the stamina fatigue system are there in the tree. With our thirst and stamina being what they are, our stamina max reserves are so bad that we literally can't regenerate any of them. There's no passive regen there. There's also a, so you can see, yeah, it's important for you to use, right. Herbalism is going to be a big part of how you manage your hunger and thirst. The reason for that, it says you're well fed, but that's not really the case. Because one other garish aspect of the curse is how you will have a random chance to get rotten alchemy ingredients when you pluck them in the wild. It doesn't just plant life, you can also get rotten chores eggs from my mirror. And it's pretty ghastly because you have no idea what they'll do until after you take them. There's the rain.
Mike does not understand what is so impressive about shouting. Mike can shout whenever he wants.
Raise the audio a bit.
She doesn't have the scar.
We found the first standing stone.
Oh, you're right. We've
Let
made a
me tell
mistake.
you what they're
Now
gonna
move
do.
along before that mouth of yours gets you into trouble.
You don't even say that. But take the warrior stone. All combat skills will increase 20% max.
Not like this. Lucky hit.
The warrior stone does things from these stones. Huh. I could have sworn these are all nerfed. Scar can see from and this is right, in addition to rotten plant life, you'll have rotten animal life. If you eat this, stamina generates 1% potential or eat rotten animal meat, but you also get like cursed beast. Ooh. Basically, you can, oh, that's gross. Yeah. Unfortunately, fake Murdoch here, as well as fake Odessa, they are victims of the Great Face Bug. Even this Lightning 2 Special Edition lifecycle, the mod authors who were aware of the Great Face Bug basically abandoned their mods and never went back to try and fix them. Like so. Speaking of which, let's talk about the stagger poise system. No attack is melee weapons against the stagger target. Daggers will stagger less. More hammers, however, give you the best stats. The armor has a chance to make you defense based on security. Fur will protect less. Basic is the best. So, heavy, higher quality armor gives you more defense or poise against staggering attacks that damage with poise. Essentially, yeah, the poise system from Dark Souls 1 implemented into this game, which I think is pretty cool. Like, in general, judging by the name, like in general, you have to tell how much of an influence that both Dark Souls and Dragon's Dogma had on the development of this mod. The mod author is clearly a fan. And I absolutely agree. At the same time, as a result of that, I decided to name this particular Nord character of mine Savin. Savin, who is the main character of the Dragon's Dogma, is quite intended to have a Dragon's Dogma inspired build. For this Let's Play. Now, because of the fact that I want to show this one off rather than necessarily superbly challenge myself, if I have to bend the rules in my favor to do what I feel like, then I will. I want you all to prepare for that. Because the secondary point of this mod, oh hello, barrel, white front. Yeah, this, I have a lot more quality of life mods that just improve the immersion of the game. Like this rainstorm and these bear hole mods that basically tell you what direction you're going in if you want to go this